Good evening, Rambler fans, and welcome to this season's last edition of Sports Locker. I'm Molly Brewer.
And I'm Joaquin Carey. Time sure flew by our senior year, huh?
Oh, it did, and it feels like just yesterday when we were anchoring for the first time.
Absolutely. I remember being so nervous going on the Ramble for the first time, trying to remember every stat, every clever line, but now I just wing it.
I feel like I've learned more from Sports Locker than any class I could have taken at Loyola.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, you ready to give them one hell of a last show?
Let's do it.
All right.
A former top 100 high school men's basketball player has transferred to Loyola from Big 12 tournament champions Iowa State. Point guard Clayton Custer will join the men's basketball team in 2016 after sitting out a year due to NCAA transfer rules. Once the third best point guard out of the state of Kansas, Custer played just under 6 minutes a game for the Hawkeyes, averaging a point a game. He was named Kansas's Gatorade Player of the Year in high school after averaging 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Coach Moser says the signing is huge for the basketball program's growth. Did you know that he was actually a teammate of current Rambler Ben Richardson?
Small world. It's a great signing, though. It's great to see how far the basketball program's come in these past couple of years. Top 100. It's a pretty big deal.
We will see if the Ramblers can make it to the postseason in consecutive years for the first time since 1963 and 1964.
We'll see. The 4th-ranked men's volleyball team easily defeated the 10th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes in a 3-set sweep to end the regular season. Thomas Jeske led the Ramblers with 16 kills and 12 digs, earning him his 6th double-double of the season. In fact, just hours ago, Jeske was named the MEVA Conference Player of the Year for the 2nd consecutive season. The outside hitter led the conference in kills and aces per set and was 2nd in hitting percentage. He and Peter Hutz were named to the all-conference first team, while Cody Caldwell and Jeff Jendrick received second-team honors. The Ramblers begin their quest to repeat as MEVA champions on Friday when they host Quincy in the quarterfinals. The semifinals will take place on April 29th and the championship on May 1st. Allison Krakowiak went to the Damon Student Center to see what students think the team will do in the tournament this year.
The men's volleyball team is starting their postseason play, so we decided to go to Damon to ask students how they think the team's going to do this season.
Well, I think the Ramblers are probably going to win this year. I think it might be a little harder than last year, but I believe in them.
I think the men's volleyball team's going to have back-to-back championships. Go Ramblers.
They're going to do amazingly well.
So the volleyball team this year, I think, is going to do well. I can definitely see them going to the semifinals. From there, we'll see. I don't think that they're strongest. They're not the strongest since my Loyola experience. I'm a senior, so I've been here for 4 years. But they definitely have a good team. They're young, they're fresh. I can see them going to semifinals and hopefully to the finals.
I think they're going to do pretty well, but they were #1 when I came in January, and now they're #5, so I'm not sure if they can be #1 again, but hopefully, fingers crossed, go Ramblers.
I think that they might struggle a little more than last year because they have a couple new freshmen on the court, but ultimately they'll win it all. They're going to be great.
My bet is they're going to pull through to the #1 just like last year.
Think they're going to win the championship?
Oh, I think they're definitely going to win the championship.
All right, I wish we could cover it on site. It's supposed to take place in Palo Alto this year.
In 2 weeks, we're done, so I don't see anything wrong with that.
In 2 weeks, if I'm in California, I'm not going to be working, I'll tell you that.
And on that note, the women's golf team, led by Summer Moser and Jessie Stade, finished out the MVC championship this weekend in 7th place with a score of 965. Despite finishing in the bottom half of the leaderboard, Loyola got off to a hot start. The team played in the final group for the last 2 days of the tournament before posting a 332 on the final day. Senior Alexandra Myers placed 35th in the last golf tournament of her college career. She scored an 88 at the conference tournament.
It's playoff season in the hockey world, and each day we get closer and closer to gracing a team with Lord Stanley's presence.
Maria Szatkowski tells us about one team that won the Cup 65 years ago with This Week in History.
Thanks, Molly. To be precise, it was none other than the Detroit Red Wings winning the Stanley Cup over the New York Rangers. In a Game 7, 4-3 overtime win, the Wings won their 4th Stanley Cup at Olympia Stadium in Detroit. This team was one of the greats, with hockey legends such as Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay. After this game and the Stanley Cup win, assistant captain Lindsay began the tradition of skating around the arena with the cup, which continues to be a tradition today. The Wings have won a total of 11 cups, and I'm predicting it now, this year the Wings are going to win Lord Stanley for the 12th time. For This Week in History, I'm Maria Shetkowski.
Of course, Maria would end her Rambler Sports Locker career with a Red Wings story. She sure is going to feel bad when the Hawks win the cup and Jonathan Toews skates around the ice, continuing the Red Wings tradition.
You know, I'm just peeved that the Columbus Blue Jackets didn't make it into the playoffs.
Columbus?
I'm Ohio proud. I have to root for Columbus.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Loyola Track and Field has certainly been busy. The team traveled to California last weekend for the Mount Sac Relays and the Beach Invitational. Chris Stroop placed 6th in the men's 100-meter dash, and Kevin Glastetter placed 3rd place in the 400-meter dash, running 46.7 seconds. And the men's 4x400 relay placed 3rd. On the women's team, the 4x400 placed 3rd, while Allison Ciccone placed 11th in shot put. The Ramblers are gearing up for the Drake Relays this weekend in Iowa. The MVC Championship is May 15th through the 17th, and the NCAA Championship is in June.
The softball team lost to Indiana State 7-6 on Wednesday, which cost Loyola the season series to the Sycamores. The defeat was the team's 6th in a row, and the Ramblers have gone just 2-13 in their last 15 games. This season certainly has been a difficult one, as Loyola is just 13-31. Their 3 conference wins puts them in 2nd to last place in the MVC, and the Ramblers travel to Normal, Illinois to take on Illinois State in a 3-game series. The MVC Championships begin May 7th and end on the 9th.
We've had a lot of great memories over the last year in RSL. Most of them were thanks to Milop. He's the best person I have. Wait a minute, Milop, did you edit the script?
All right, well, let's hear what our Ramblers have to say, or Rambler contestants have to say about what will happen to Milop in the future. Okay.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our very last ramble of the year. This is not going to be like any other ramble you've ever seen before. We may be a sports show, but today we're not talking about sports. We're talking about life. And that life is the most important life we have. Mine. So, come on, guys. It's graduation time. I got to think about what's going to happen in my future. So, you all are going to ramble about what Milop is most likely to be. But I'll give you a bonus point if you can include something about any other senior, not yourselves, also. But you got to talk about me too. So, whoever wants to start. Gabe.
I guess I'm starting then. Well, Milop, I've known you for a while, and we've had a lot of conversations, and I think that you'd most likely be a buyer of sorts for some merchandising. I do remember you recall that you really liked this one store, that you really wanted to work there. So I'm going to say that you're going to be a Victoria's Secret buyer.
So does that mean I'm purchasing like?
No, that means you're purchasing like the marketing, like you're purchasing advertising, the marketing. You're doing the marketing budget and doing all those things. That'd be kind of weird if I don't know. Maybe you want to go in there shopping.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You think I look good in late night clothes?
So Lydia, what do you think?
Okay.
It's my job.
Quite most likely to follow. I'm not entirely sure where to go with that, but I think I'm just going to take it in a completely opposite direction. You know, Milop, he's quite a lovable guy. He's got a lot going on, and he loves his sports. And I do think that Milop is most likely to be an anchor or an announcer for the Puppy Bowl. I think that Milop just has the perfect voice, the perfect knowledge, you know, the perfect know-how of all those action figure-y little fluffy guys. So that's my Milop most likely to. I'm sorry it's not relatable to any other senior we have here right now, but
I really like that. You know, I also have a referee costume.
Wow.
You know,
so you're just there. You're set up for it.
I know. Bye-bye, Jimmy Kimmel. It's time for someone else to step in. All right. Well, those are pretty interesting. So Gabe, you know, you talked about me being a buyer, I guess, of, you know, Victoria's Secret products, which I agree. You know, supply chain, that is my specialty, right? I mean, come on. Supply chain and Milop almost sound the exact same.
You love talking about it.
Yeah, that too. But, you know, I'm, you know, not the huge buyer of things. Most of my money spent on food. You know, if you look at like my bank account, 75% at least goes to that. So am I really likely going to be purchasing clothing over food?
Well, then, yeah. Well, you wouldn't necessarily be purchasing things out of your own budget. You'd be using the corporate budget. So therefore, you're more likely to play with the money, so to speak. So you wouldn't have to, and you'd be earning money to go buy food. So it's perfect.
All right, that's.
But if you want a second Milop, what could you be? I got one for you.
Okay, go for it. I'm down here. We got time.
Oh,
I feel underprepared. Come on, how did I not know there was a second round here?
I didn't know either. Go for it.
I didn't know that.
Short-sighted, man. All right, go for it.
Okay, so you would travel the world preaching vegetarianism.
No, I don't like that one. All right. All right. So Lydia.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go on to you. So you have the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, I have
which
the Puppy Bowl.
I would love to be a Puppy Bowl announcer,
Right.
but I don't have any pets.
No.
So how am I going to be a Puppy Bowl announcer when I am not that familiar with animals?
Well, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen the Puppy Bowl, but they don't really talk about the animals. They actually do kind of talk about the sports more than anything else. I actually did a little bit of research.
Which Puppy Bowls do you watch?
I don't know, just the last one. They had the highlights online, you know. But they had Team Fluff and Team Rough, and they just basically talked about the touchdowns and all the plays that they would make and who was tackling who. And so I just thought that was a really, you know, something you'd be able to talk about if you wanted to. So I don't really think the knowledge of the dogs are.
Good stuff, good stuff. All right, now you two get a chance to rebut each other, so just go for it. Why is your Milop future better than the other Milop future?
Well, it's that Puppy Bowl is pretty hard to compete, you know. I will have to give you credit. That is an awesome one, and I think Milop would be happy doing the Puppy Bowl. But being a supply chain for Victoria's Secret, I think that you'll be a little bit more lucrative.
Good stuff, Lydia. Get into it.
All right, so I know you think Milop may enjoy the Victoria's Secret life, but there is no way anyone could deny the puppies, the sports, the Milop talent. I think I'm just gonna have to.
All right. Well,
say that.
This was a phenomenal ramble. You know, yeah, you didn't say vegetarianism correctly, so I'm going to give this one to Lydia since I don't know how exactly that happened, but I guess we have to kick it back to the desk for one very last time. Thank you all. It's been a great year. Go Sports.
You know, I don't really know where Gabe was going with the whole Victoria's Secret buying thing that he had Milop doing. It really kind of got off the rails there.
I agree. I'm going to go with Lydia on that one. I think he would make a great Puppy Bowl announcer.
Oh, undoubtedly, for sure.
Well, as we move on, our only hope as the seniors is that we have been good examples and inspired those who we're leaving behind.
Leah Bakuyak and Grace Runkle have put together a piece for us with a message, don't worry.
And it qualified him for the NCAA Cross Country Championships that will take place in Terre Haute, Indiana this Saturday. Bridget Murphy has more on Pens and Saddler's historic race and his plans on the future.
Terre Haute. The switcher won't switch.
Switch won't switch.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Terre Haute. Terre Haute.
Thanks, Milop. That was a pretty fair representation for both sides.
Yeah, it's a sensitive case, and more information will come out over time, so I guess time will tell as far as the case goes. Sorry, guys. One episode. I'm so flustered.
I mean, I'll be right in. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Terre Haute.
Terre Haute.
Oh, Terre Haute.
What did you do?
Who's on this weekend?
I messed up that grade so bad. I said men's volleyball team.
It's nice to show everyone that you're not like perfect, so they're not super intimidated by you.
It's nice to be organized, wasn't it?
Remember, if you're out trick-or-treating, make sure to check for unwrapped candy. And Superman, keep your eye out for kryptonite.
Don't worry about me. There's no...
Oh, it's gone now.
Sorry. I wasn't looking on the script at all.
Oh, that was a good read for me.
Yeah. Because I get really intimidated when I sit by you, but it's good to know, like...
I know, like, I mess up sometimes too.
And I know you did that on purpose, but like still,
right.
the thought
I
was
never
really...
speak that quickly normally.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try it one more time.
Okay. Cropolis. Wait, holy shit, I didn't, excuse me. Why am I cussing today? I never cuss. I'm sorry, my bad influence. Yeah.
I've been thinking, studying all night in the IC. I've been thinking.
So you're just gonna do it twice, but on the camera too, okay?
Okay.
I'm your host, Milap Mehta, and I am joined by our two-time defending champion, Joaquin Carrig.
Oh, she had a particular way she wanted to do it. Sorry. Start over. That was my fault.
And
Watching does.
Sure miss my band days.
Wow, that's sexy, but it's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
There are demons.
I like was flowing. Shit.
She was going in.
I know my sports, thank you. Hey.
We now turn to the folks on the Rainbow who will discuss Adrian Peterson's future. You got into my point of view. She's over here like. Oh man.
I don't know about you, but I want a margarita after
Is that depressing?
Oh my God.
I'm not worried at all.
Yeah? No, I'm just kidding. They'll do fine. Well, that does it for our last episode of the Rambler Sports Locker. I say last because this is also the final show of our college career. Who knows when I'll be on air again?
Joaquin, you're going to be on air again. You're going to be a star.
Aw, thanks, Molly. I'm going to watch you on TV someday, too.
Thanks.
All right, enough of the sappy stuff. We'd like to thank all of you for watching, who are watching, for supporting us through thick and thin. I'd like to thank everyone who worked on the show this year. I know it hasn't always been easy, but it's been an honor to lead you along with the prodigy, Grace Runkle. You may not have seen her much on camera, but she was truly what made the show run. I would also like to add that I'm excited to see where Nader, Issa, and Jake Mazenki will take the show next year. And we're leaving RSL in good hands for sure. And with that, we sign off for the last time.
Thanks again so much for watching, everyone. Make sure to follow us on all of the handles you see below. I'm Molly Brewer.
And I'm Joaquin Carrig. As always, don't forget to turn out the lights.